Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert. Welcome to the first New Year's Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. And guess what? My first, my first thing about this year is going to be the worst New Year's resolutions to make for your business. So you can tell that this one's going to be a little bit contentious, tongue in cheek, you name it. It's going to be fiery, whatever you want to call it. It's the new year, guys. I have started the new year off with a bang. I've already hired a new sales director. I'm so excited to be working together. Just got a new sale today and going to a new client, the high level client in Seattle tomorrow. So, and I'm actually bringing my little guy with me. So he's going to see Seattle. We've both never been there. I'm hoping it's like warm. I'm imagining it's warm, but I understand that it's not really that much warmer than Toronto. So anyway, and then I have like 15 minutes to do this and I have to go and leave for another meeting. So let's get this on. Oh, this is dreaming of a wine Christmas. I don't even drink, but this was a really nice mug that I got for Christmas. Of course, I'm drinking my protein. Yeah, next year, 2023 really should be the protein time with Chala, but that'll stay with us. I think Tuesday tea time has better alliteration. Okay, so let's get to this list of the worst New Year's resolutions for your business. So I read this, and this is I had heard of this, but it just every time I read this statistic, it just like breaks my heart. Harvard research says only 1 out of 7 heart patients change their habits when they're told they'll die otherwise. So these guys have all had some problem with their heart attack, or whatever it is. And the doctor's telling them you have to change the way you live. And only 1 out of 7 is able to do it. So how are you when even your life isn't at stake, but your business is at stake, or you're trying to grow your business? How are you going to do it? How are you actually going to do it? Because 54% of people abandon their New Year's resolutions by 6 months, a quarter by the first month, I think. So knowing all of that, here's all the fruitless things that I hear my clients say that they want to do in 2023 or at any time, but who have resolved to do these things, and I have to talk them out of it. So this is my first step of talking you out of this foolishness that I see as foolishness. And I will explain it all to you while I take another sip of my, not wine, but protein, with my eye on the clock. All right. The first one is I hear small businesses that say, I'm going to resolve to advertise more. Okay, well, if advertising is already working for you, all the more power to you. But there isn't a lot of businesses, especially the kind that I help, which are B2B, service-based, and they're small. They don't have that much huge budgets. They're under 10 million, 15 million. If, as I said, you're advertising already and it's working for you, great. I don't know many of the category that I help that are advertising to great effect, but if it's not working for you, advertising is not going to be the solution to all the problems that you thought you could lie on the beach or in your bed and the sales are going to drip into your funnel and people are going to be requesting meetings with you. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of things you need to get right in your strategy before you can even think about advertising. Some of the things that you need to figure out, that you're going to have to figure out for all of the other ones too, that I have on my list, is who is your target? Who's your avatar? What is the number one problem that you are going to position yourself around helping them with? What are the words that they use to describe their pain? Where are they consuming information around this problem? Is it on social media? Is it in networking groups? Is it through peer groups? Is it through expert papers? You cannot advertise until you know all of that for a fact. And that's exactly what's called your marketing strategy. Until you know that, do not make this a New Year's resolution. That's one of the worst. Number 2 is join a networking group. How many times have you heard someone say, this year I'm going to join a networking group? Oh my God, it's all going to change for me. I've known clients in networking groups that have gone to these breakfasts for 7 years in a row, and they never got one client out of it. And I always ask them, why do you still keep going? And why do you keep investing all this time? And what they say is, I've gotten many friends. I've gotten we've become social now. It's gone beyond business. Well, that's just become your social group. It's not business anymore. And I wish you would accept that. And just, you want to do that? That's fine with me. Please don't tell me that that's your marketing. So if you're going to join a networking group, I'm not saying you shouldn't join one, and I'm not saying don't make friends. What I'm saying is, once you figure out who your target industry is, once you figure out where the decision makers are hanging out, that's where you should network. You should not be networking with your peers. You should not be networking with your own industry. You should be networking with the people who are going to buy from you once you figure out who they are. So go ahead and join a networking group, but make sure that 70% of the concentration of the people that you're going to be touching every time you go is going to be your actual buying group. Okay. And there's not, as far as I know, the people that we target in B2B service-based companies that are selling up till 10 million, these are decision makers, the CEOs of companies that we're trying to sell to, or directors. And they're not exactly networking everywhere. They're not exactly networking, period. So that's why I'm very cautious when I hear clients say, well, I'm going to go and join a networking group as my New Year's resolution. Another one is hiring a sales rep. Ooh, that's what I went and I did. So now, if you don't know how to sell, you can't teach it. If you don't have a strategy of figuring out, you haven't already done the strategic work of figuring out which industry is your primary target and what is the number one problem that you can hang your hat on to sell to them in terms of your expertise, and how will you message this to them, and how are you going to, through what channels are you going to, they going to consume that information about you? This again is called your marketing strategy. If you hire a sales rep based on what they know and not what you know about the company, and if you don't know these things, you should find out what those things are before you hire a sales rep, because to expect a sales rep to figure out your strategy is unfair. It's not their job. That's not what they're trained for. They're trained for you to show them where to go, what to sell, what to say, and how to do it. They're not qualified or capable in most cases of figuring out your strategy, because then they'd be called a strategist. All they know is their past training, their past experience, and that may not at all be who you need to be targeting. Okay. Number 5, worst New Year's resolutions for your business is hiring an ad agency. How many people have I met at, trade shows and the conferences that I speak at? Oh, I got to hire. I'm hiring. I already have an ad agency. So without knowing your strategy of who, your what, your message, your USP, all those things, an ad agency does nothing but put lipstick on a pig. Today I'm wearing red. And not to say that I'm a pig or you're a pig, but they need to have the strategy. And again, unless they have a strategist on board, unless they have a unique methodology to figure that out, which I have not seen even in the large, big ones that I used to work at. There were some that had planners that, kind of tried to do that, but they never really knew about, our business's true metrics and true numbers. And, they had an idea of how to help in terms of strategy, but they were really never, ever as cognizant of what the strategy was or how to go about getting more clients than the internal marketing team of the company. And I worked with some of the big ones. So all that to say, an ad agency is not the be all end all for how to get new clients or how to design your funnels. They could be an expert in one element of one of your marketing tools, but you still need a strategy, and you need a strategist to figure out what to say to them to help them to figure out how to differentiate and all that. Okay, number 6 of the worst New Year's resolutions for your business. Let me take a step. The bad thing about my protein is that it congeals at the top because it's so thick. I think I put too much in it. and then I have to like drink from underneath. It's disgusting. Anyway, so that's why like I have to keep drinking it. Otherwise, it just gets gross. All right, more than you needed to know on this new year, right? Okay. So number 6 is going to surprise you. Get more clients. So why is this a bad goal? Well, make the goal about you, not about them, right? So, because you can't control other people's behavior, but what you can control is what you need to do in terms of a goal and in terms of a resolution for as an activity to get more clients. So, for example, you can say do more emails. You can say do more calls, and you can get even more specific about it. But to say just one, it's too generic, and two, if you could do it, you would have done it already. It's not a resolution. Make a resolution about something that you can do. Okay. Number 7 of the worst New Year's resolutions for your business is to get a resolution that was the same as what you resolved to do in your business in 2018, 2019, 2020, like all the past years. Insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if you've got the same resolution as all the past years, take it off. There's a reason why it's not working. And there's all sorts of research about what is stopping you. And usually it's because there's a reward to a very important value that you have that's keeping you from finishing whatever that or realizing that resolution. And there's all sorts of research about it. There's all sorts of help, therapy, coaching, you name it. You can do the research. And this is what I work with my clients on, is what is actually going on under the hood. Because you can push the car as far as you want, you can press it, but if there's something that's not connected under the hood, the car's not going to go any faster. Okay. Number 8 is a lot of people do this. They resolve to either learn or do more social media in their business. So one, if it's to learn, oh my God, it's not your job. It's not your job to figure out how to do posts. It's not your job to figure out how to do pretty things, how to, get on social media. Now, there's a component of visibility that I would love for you to do on social media, which is thought leadership. And it's like things like this. If I want you to get in front of your target and talk about their industry and their industry problems and talk about solutions to their problems on a regular basis, that's great. But that could be, repurposed through social media or your email or directly sending it to them in a direct mail, whatever it is. Or you could just, put it onto a jump stick and send it to them, or you can do a presentation. You can do it in person. It doesn't matter. Learning social media or doing social media is not the be all and end all. It's not it's one of the worst New Year's resolutions, because again, without the strategy of who you're going to target, what you're going to say, what you're expert in, what is the unique differentiator hook that you're going to use, you don't know any of that, you might as well just be on social media for nothing. And millions are spent every year for nothing, with zero ROI goose eggs for social media, unless you do it right. Okay. All right. So the last one, I know it's not a perfect 10, but at the number 9, I could not come up with the number 10. And I was like, I'm not going to just make one up just to have 10. But the last worst year's resolution for your business is detoxing any persistent or consistent misbehavior that you've had. So is it like you've been doing death by meetings? Is it like you've been doing analysis paralysis and you can't move forward after you do the analysis? Is it you want to do an email detox? Whatever it is, there's a reason why they persist and exist. And it goes back to what I was saying, is there's something under the hood that's running it. And so you have to look at the underlying reward of why, and if it's truly hurting you, right? So have that analysis, read up on it, get some help, and stop trying to detox what you term is a misbehavior. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. Now that I'm noticing, like, the red is really, popping for me with the color and the Tuesday tea time color and everything. Hopefully it works for you. Anyway, one last sip and then I'm off to my next meeting. I hope this new year, 2023, is going to be amazing for all of us. And I've already started with a bang. So thank you for watching. Always come back. We're going to be in Seattle this week, but I'll be back next Tuesday. All the best, everyone.